Okay, good to go.
Okay, great. So today we're going to talk about mobility and how we can make your ERP system more mobile for your workforce. So the agenda is a presentation of solution systems and ExpandIT, which I work for. After that, we will be introducing mobile service and have time for Q&A. Michael, if you want to introduce yourself.
Sure. My name is Michael Introvertolo. I am the account manager as well as the marketing manager for Solution Systems. And I am very excited to be co-presenting for a little while today with Tim and Michael.
And my name is Tim Dridi. I'm a partner channel manager at ExpandIT here in North America. What I will be doing today is I'll present ExpandIT and leave it to my colleague Michael Frabata to introduce and present the mobile service. Michael, would you like to introduce yourself?
My name is Michael Frabata. I am the technical lead for ExpandIT here in North America. And I'll leave it up to you, Tim.
Okay. Michael?
All right. So, Solution Systems was founded in 1979. It's located in Rolling Meadows, Illinois. For the past 36 years, we've been implementing ERP, CRM, web development, and IT infrastructure systems and support. We are a leader in Dynamics NEV implementations within the Chicagoland metropolitan area. Our customer base pretty much encompasses small and medium size to enterprise level businesses across a variety of different verticals within the manufacturing, distribution, and service sectors. And so with that, I shall turn it back over to Tim.
Great, thank you. I'll be introducing ExpandIT. ExpandIT was founded in '98, headquartered in Denmark, and has offices in Canada and the US as well as Europe. It has 60+ employees internationally, and we've been installing 1,300 mobility products with a user base of 15,000+. Our products support different languages. Here in North America, that would be French for Canada, it will be Spanish for the US, and overall English as well. We support different industries. Right now we have 14+ industries that we cater to. And our business model is that we partner up with partners such as Solution Systems to sell our products. We, too, are a Microsoft Gold partner, and we are an ISV certified company. What we focus on, and one of our competitive advantages, is that we have a seamless integration with your ERP system. We work with nearly any mobile device, and we are easy to use for everyone, be it a planner at the office or an employee in the field or on site. They have a seamless ability to use our products, and we've actually hired a few technical employees to give us feedback in terms of the functionalities and how easy it is to use our software, be it on a tablet or on a smartphone. Our products are easily customized to fit your business logic, and we have an environment development that makes it very easy to either your developers, our partners' developers, or ExpandIT developers to customize the software to your business. We focus on a more productive and efficient mobile workforce, and we do that by reducing paperwork and administration through our software. We have a broad product category, and one of them is mobile service, which we will be introducing today. We also have the planning board and a service portal that all in all represents our mobile service management solution. Michael? will you take over?
Of course. So let's just touch on the architecture of our software and how we can integrate with your ERP system. In the center of the screen, you'll notice there's a server labeled the BAS, which is the Business Application Server. This is our middleware server that communicates from the ERP system out to the mobile clients, whether those mobile clients be smartphones or tablets or PCs. They're communicating to the BAS, not the ERP. So in other words, your ERP system might be down for maintenance, it might be down for backup reasons, it might be unavailable completely for unexpected reasons. However, your mobile workforce is still capable of performing their jobs and getting the job done. Okay, they are not going to be put out by that. The BAS is tasked with relaying data from the ERP system to the mobile client and then in reverse to that. It also will keep track of what data the mobile clients have for synchronization purposes. Okay, you can go to the So the application that we're going to first take a look at here is going to end up being the planning board. So the planning board is our central location for doing detailed planning of service orders out to the mobile clients. So what you can see here is actually going to be a web-based planning board. These are two separate web browsers that would be opened up side by side and used in conjunction with each other. On the right-hand side, you see a map of the area that you would be functioning within, essentially your service area. And on the left, you would see a Gantt chart of those details of the people that are doing the service or equipment that's doing service. You're capable of planning from either location, whether that's dragging new service orders directly onto the people on the left or mousing over the ones on the right and showing them. And you can also plan directly off from the people. So you have this back and forth that allows you to do detailed planning of the service orders out to an infinite amount of time, whether that be today, tomorrow, or over the next few months. All the data that you're seeing is going to be derived from that ERP system. So there's no duplicate data entry required where you would have to put data in our system and also in your backend system. All right. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the next slide. And here's an example of how you would see those new jobs out of it. You would open this up, you would see all jobs that have planning required. And it's a simple drag and drop, or you can actually plan it out from a calendar view. Okay, so there's a couple of different options there on how you would want to plan it out. You also can get different levels of detail depending on how you want to plan it out. All right, and we'll just take a look at the next slide. So let's talk about the mobile client. So we touched very briefly on the planners. There's a lot of functionality on that planning board that we didn't go into, and we can always do that in a separate location. However, the mobile client is what is the person going to see on that mobile tablet? What is your actual technician out in the field going to see? So let's take a look at what they're actually going to see. A few notes on what you're seeing here. A lot of times we get questions on why wouldn't I just want to use, say, the web interface or the enterprise portal out of the ERP system. This system is designed to fit on a tablet mostly. It's touch-centric, so it works really well on touch laptops, touch tablets. It can work on any type of device, though, that has a Windows OS. So let me rephrase that. For online and complete offline capability, it works for Windows OS. If you're online only, it would work in anything that supports a web browser, whether that's iOS, Android, or Windows OS. So we have an interface that is streamlined, as opposed to, say, the ERP system that is headers and lines and has a lot of details. Even at role-based type permission levels, the user interface is are a bit arduous for the people that will be using them. Right? You have people out who want to fix items. They want to go out and fix things or service things. They necessarily don't even like filling out paperwork, let alone using one of these tablets to try to fill out their work for the day. These interfaces have been designed through our large install base to be as seamless as possible, to help make that transition as easy as possible. Okay. So what we're seeing here is the technician is going to see what his schedule of work looks like. That's what you're seeing down here on the left under Wednesday. He's going to see what jobs have been appointed to him. Up on the right, next to functions, you're going to see an accept and reject button. They may accept and or reject that work order that's been sent to them. All of that business process is actually configurable. So when you do planning, if they're forced to accept it, then they wouldn't have the option of accepting or rejecting. Another way to do planning that we didn't touch on the planning board, but that makes more sense here, is a pool of planning pool. In other words, you would plan jobs not to specific individuals, but to pools of individuals, and you would allow them to select the job they want, which they would do by clicking on Job Pool up here on the right and seeing what jobs are available, and then selecting those jobs on their own. People can look, if they are online, can look at a map of their current location and all the jobs around them. They can have files sent down to their mobile device from the ERP system. Files could include anything from, say, a wiring schematic to locate a location on the premise of where the service should exist, to instructions on entering, say, a secure premise. So any type of document that needs to be sent down can be sent down. You can take stock of trucks. So if the vehicles that are going out to do service are their own warehouse location, you may end up taking stock. You can also view an overall timesheet for the week. It isn't necessarily a clock in and out type timesheet. It is more of a what work have I done against what service orders, say drive time, work time, different types of work time, right? It might be straight time or double time or something of such. And lastly, they can actually create new service orders on the fly. So they're capable of just creating a whole new service order. Maybe they went out to do service and they asked them to look at or fix something else while they're in the field. Instead of having to call back to the office, creating a new service order, waiting for something to be planned, the actual service tech can, at that point in time, just create that service order right there and then. All right. So once they're doing that, they're going to click on the job, and then they're going to move into actually working on the job. Let's take a look at that. If I've started work on a job, once I've clicked on a job, I can see where am I going, the work address. I'll see the description coming out of the ERP system. I'm going to see the customer, who am I doing work for. If there's a service item attached to it, I'm going to see that service item. I can write comments back to the server, or I can receive comments from the server, okay, back to the ERP system. So comments to the invoice I can write. I can find fault reasons for that issue, right? Anything that's been set up in the back-end system would flow through here. So what I would do is I would hit Start Travel or Start Work, and at which point in time I would get a lot more options on this page on what I would be filling out. I'm capable of taking pictures on my mobile device, attaching those to this work order to send those pictures back against the work order. I'm capable of seeing, again, a map of the location of this work address compared to mine. All right. And lastly, and probably most importantly, I would say be able to take report data down. And reports are customized pieces of information. It's essentially a plain HTML page, and you can create as many different reports as you see fit. It's a way for you to capture anything from, say, a service checklist to, did you check the headlights? Did you check the tire pressure? Did you check the oil? If you were saying going to service forklifts. But the reports can really capture anything you want. The point of the reports isn't to capture data that you want to pull back into your back-end system. It's to capture data that you may need to make sure that they actually performed it. Maybe you take the service technician's signature against the report, or the customer might sign the report. When that report comes back to our BAS server, it would be turned into a PDF file, and that file would be attached against that service order. So it's an example of an easy way for you to take additional data against it. So as my technician is doing all of this, he's writing messages, he's doing this, he's doing service. And so he's going to be installing things. So let's take a look at this next tab. And on the next tab for the line, you're capable of coming in and actually adding what you're working on. If anything has been added from the back-end system, that would show up here too and allow for you to modify it. So if you're, say, doing preventative maintenance, it's very simple for you to be able to say, you know, based off the type of order it is and the type of equipment it is, what type of preventative maintenance pieces you would normally need. But the technician in the field can confirm whether he did or didn't use them at this point in time. However, he can also add anything he wants. He can click on the Add Product or Resource field at the top, and if he has a scanning capability, say barcoded items in his truck, he can scan those. Those can flow out to and create lines from that point in time. So it's fairly quick and easy to add lines. If they don't know the product that they want to add, they'll click on the Items tab, which is our next tab to look at. Once we're on this tab, you can search for anything. You can search for products and resources, because maybe you're actually adding time for another technician and yourself. Maybe you're searching for charge items or expenses, okay, or just products. Another capability on this page is actually setting up a product list. If you're doing common types of service, preventative maintenance or emergency service, it's very common that you normally use the same types of parts or people for, you might set up a list so ahead of time they can just click on that and they don't have to search for maybe the 4 or 5 things that they do. They can just see them straight out and quickly. All right. So they've added their lines on. Maybe they need to view some history. And that's really the last tab that's, you know, that the mobile technician is going to be utilizing when working on a job. The history tab gives them information about the service items they're out doing his work on, or any other service item that the customer has registered against it. They can see everything from warranty information to product descriptions for it. They can view previous service jobs against it and the lines posted against those service jobs. So they can view that historical information. Okay. Once they've done all of this, if they've utilized the history, if they've added items, once they've really finished work, they're going to go back to that job tab. And here you're going to see a quick example of what a report would look like. Okay, so this is an example report. Just shows you some of the stuff that you may want to capture. All right, so let's look at that. So now that I've come back, I might say Finish Job. I can select different pieces here, but what you can see mostly is that it has auto-created a line for me for my work hours. Okay, so as an example, it can create auto lines, but it doesn't have to. You can take a signature against the work order or service order saying that, you know, the customer might sign that you actually have done these things. And then you're going to hit some type of complete action. Complete actions, you know, we have 4 listed here, but it's really what needs to happen. So as an example, let's just look at these. Close job means it's all done. Close it, it'll go back to the ERP system, and it can be posted and billed. Close job for me means maybe I've done everything I can do. So as an example, maybe the service is on, say, a truck, and I am the guy who goes out and fixes the engine. Now the guy who comes out and fixes the suspension needs to come out next. So I say, I'm done with it. Who's next? Send data and continue tomorrow is exactly what it sounds like. Send data back to the back-end system, to the ERP system, but schedule me to come back here tomorrow because I didn't finish today. Or maybe you're short parts. So you could say, send data and continue another day. And you can pre-schedule yourself to come back while you're on site with the customer. Okay, so at this point in time, you're capable of typing any additional messages, modifying the lines as you see fit, taking that signature. You can print a report if that's what you'd like to do for the same customer. And here's an example of a signature. And then you can print a report, and then you hit Finish Job. That's going to finish it and allow you to start work on your next job. During this process, as the person has clicked Start Travel, End Travel, Start Work, End Work, the planning board has updated with statuses. Okay, so the planners constantly know not only where the users are, where the jobs are, but what their current status is, as long as they're online when they're doing this. Again, since the application is completely functional both online and offline, if they're offline, it isn't going to update the server until they come back online. However, when they do, it would update with whatever their current status is. Okay? That's a brief overview of how we can bring technology to your mobile workforce. It's a brief overview for you to see that we're going to allow you to do planning. There's all kinds of options within planning, and how we're going to get the paper trail out of your office. How we can help you remove inconsistencies with things written on paper to what gets entered into the mobile device, into the ERP system. Whatever the technician means to enter is what they enter into the system. Okay, so it takes that middleware out. It also streamlines billing, because instead of waiting a day, 2 days, a week for work orders to come back in and be processed through your ERP system, you can actually perform same-day billing. Work was complete today, billing goes out today. It's pretty straightforward. Okay, so I'm going to turn it back over to Tim to talk about it a little bit more. However, that's the technical overview of it.
Thank you, Michael. And as Michael mentioned, this was a general overview. So for those who are interested in getting a more specific demo of how we can adapt to your business logic and to your company's needs, please feel free to contact either Solution Systems or ExpandIT by phone or by email. We'll be more than happy to accommodate a meeting and set up a demo. I think we touched base on our mobile solution. We also have an additional support feature, which is the service portal, but we can definitely show you that on a more personal meeting. So, Michael, do you have anything to add?
I just want to say thanks to you, Tim, and to Michael for taking the time to present this. And you know, it looks like a great great product, wonderful interface, and I know that going forward, customers are going to be very excited. But as Tim said, if you have any questions, get in touch with me, or you can get in touch with Tim at ExpandIT. You see the number on the screen and the emails and all that. So, but yeah, thanks a lot, and I think that's about it.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.